Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is April 29th, 2016. My name is Lynn Marquidant, and I'm your host. Thanks for joining me, and happy Friday. FiberCast is all about us getting together for 60 minutes to work on whatever we feel like working on, unwind from the week, and get to say hi to each other. So come aboard. Tonight you can see I have a chair here. I'm having a very exciting doll makers weekend here at my house. There are 5 of us total, and we are having a ball. So I think what's going to happen, and we've been working since about middle of the afternoon on our creations, not all dolls, and I'm hoping that my visitors will come up and see us. We've just eaten dinner. They're downstairs cleaning up, and I wanted to get up here and say hi to everyone. And I wanted to make more doll bodies because I am making some, I've got 5 dolls that are going to be like pocket dolls in the process downstairs, and I need bodies for them. So I am cutting out my body shape. What are you working on? As always, send me email to lmarquidant@gmail.com, and I will show pictures of what you're working on and say hello, and all the other FiberCasters will say hello too. So how about this pollen? It is unbelievable around here. I have taken to popping allergy medicine. I turned on the heat. I went out this afternoon, actually this morning, to do some food shopping. And I hadn't been in the car for a week. And I turned on the AC because it was a little hot. It must have blown in pollen because I just started sneezing and coughing and blah, 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 blah. And someone today was saying that it is high pollen season. So that explains it. Tree pollen, I guess. We'll have to look that up. So literally, I am looking at a doll downstairs that Colleen Colquhoun created. And I'm using that as my guide for creating my own dolls. And I will show you what her doll looks like. I meant to pull that up because the spelling of her name takes time to remember how to spell it. Colleen Colquhoun. Let's see. Let's see if she has one of her dolls here. She does. And it's spelled Colquhoun. And she is at, actually, maybe it was last week. That is a picture of one of her dolls. So that's what my inspiration is downstairs. And like I said, oh, Pat just came. Pat is one of the Textile Tarts doll makers, a doll maker and artisan extraordinaire.
Well, I don't know about that, but thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us.
This is so much fun.
It is. And I was just telling them what I was working on and how it was inspired by Colleen's doll.
Right, so we thought we'd bring this one up. Sarah suggested it so they could see like a finished doll for inspiration.
That is, she is so sweet. Now, you've taken her classes before.
Yes, quite a few classes with Colleen now.
Is this the type of doll that you like to make, or where did you first get your doll making start? What did you first start?
Well, someone gave me a pattern for a bunny rabbit that you could put a dress on.
Yes.
And I had so much fun making it that I thought, well, maybe I would like to try dolls.
Yes.
So I just...
And you had an art background. You had years of fun.
I always sewed.
Yep.
So I
see, you too can switch over. You sewers out there.
Yeah, I just picked up a simple pattern. You know, at the Joann's, they have, you know, Butterick, McCall's. Everybody makes doll patterns.
Yeah.
You know, in the craft section.
Yes.
And that's how I started. I just tried them, and it was fun.
And you've gone from there.
That's right.
To winning. Don't you win ribbons every year at the Big E?
I've done pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. So my FiberCasters here, our FiberCasters, have...
What are they working on today?
Well, all sorts of different things. We'll have to take a look. over the last 2.5 years, they have seen me transition from quilts more into doll making, and I've asked them to endure this little sideline that I'm taking, but I'm hoping to get more of them interested in it because it really is. Quilting is so two-dimensional. I love the three-dimensional aspect of doll making. So you too can get into doll making. And then after doll making, what else do you get into?
Well, from wanting to dress the dolls because of their size, sometimes you can't just buy something.
Right.
Like you want to put jewelry on them or a hat on them or shoes on them. So you've got to make them.
Yes.
So then you start playing with beads or with little bits of clay. Like Colleen, for hers, she makes all the little things that go on her dolls. She makes these little tiny hearts, and she makes the little things they hold. Yeah, and she makes them out of paper clay, Sculpey, Fimo. She uses quite a lot of.
She does.
Yeah, ones that you could just bake in your own oven at home.
Those are so shiny. Can I show people her doll up close?
Her doll's so beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
She's.
And again, it's Colleen Colquhoun. Colquhoun. So look her up. She's an amazing talent.
Well, does she go by Athens also? Because her maiden name is Athens.
Oh, okay.
So she,
Athens is her married
oh, it's her married name. I have it backwards. Okay,
James
sorry.
Athens.
Okay.
So, okay.
So the other doll makers are here.
Yes.
So what else have you been working on here?
Well, I brought some jewelry to work on, and I had a couple of pieces that were finished, and I brought them along so that my fellow doll makers and crafters, they're good for critiquing. They can take a look. They can tell me about color, about scale, about design, give me suggestions, tell me it's fabulous.
That's what it is.
Whatever that may be. And I'm playing right now with old watch parts. So there's one that's done, and this part was braided on a Kumihimo disc, and all the rest is hand beaded.
Beading's next. Wow. So these watch parts look like they're encased in something.
Yes. So what I do is I took a class to learn how to use a 2-part epoxy resin that you mix and then pour, and then it takes about 24 hours to set up. And so what it does is it puts a perfectly shiny cover on whatever. And as you can imagine, the watch parts, it's the guts of a watch.
Sure.
Well, it's all picky. You know, there's
Yes.
it's you couldn't cut yourself, but you'd catch stuff on it. So the resin fills it in perfectly smooth and makes it a smooth.
It reminds me of that amber that you see from Europe, the Russian amber, that smoothness. That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Ah. And you just come up with it. So what else do you have?
Well, these are, I'm playing with the resins and watch parts with buttons.
Oh, because they have the indents.
So there's an indentation in there, so I just glue in little odds and ends of things, paper or a watch face or a gear, glue them all down, and then I pour the resin and let it set up, and then I'll bead around it, and I can use it for a pendant, for jewelry. So and these are all just buttons that I've used.
You are amazing. Every month we have a Textile Tarts meeting, and every month Pat brings in a whole plethora of her latest focus area. You're amazing.
Thank you.
What do you do during the day?
I'm a logistics manager for a plastic injection molding company, so you can see why I have to spend my off hours creating something. Because, you know, watching machines make plastic parts is not all that interesting. But this is interesting.
Exactly. It allows us to do fun things.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
So there you go.
Well, thank you for joining us,
So I'll
Pat.
have to send one of the other girls
I
up.
think we do. You can pick.
Okay.
Okay.
Sarah, because I see her there with a quilt, so she's got to come up.
Woohoo! Come back,
Okay.
too.
Well, will you come around the other side and help me hold it up?
Sure.
Okay. You go stand behind Lynn.
So, the backlighting here is showing over your... So everyone, Sarah Kokanowski.
Hi, everybody. How are you? It's been a long time. I haven't seen you for a while.
Sarah has been here a few times before.
Yes.
And how have you been?
I've been great. I've been wonderful. Hope everyone out there has been well.
I bet Karen's out there,
Hi,
Jean's
Karen.
out there,
Hi, Jean.
Kelsey.
Kelsey. All your Australian contingency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in the UK.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have viewers from everywhere now. Yeah. Yeah, I've been good. I've been really busy. but all good things. Yeah, I'm still quilting, doll making, doing a little jewelry making, photography, doing a bit of writing. So yeah,
Wonderful.
I've been busy. Oh, all good things. But this quilt I made for my son Owen,
Okay.
who graduated from high school. Okay, and
I'm behind you, so
I just wanted to show it's got a three-dimensional quality to it.
Oh,
when you
isn't that
hold
neat?
it up. So
Oh, people, look at that. It really does look three-dimensional, even more so on the camera, which you can't see, Sarah, because you're behind it.
So for a young man who, likes things pretty bold, graphic, it worked well for him. He picked out the colors, and I picked out the pattern, and yeah, it turned out really well. Turned out
Super.
really well.
Was it hard to keep those parts straight?
It wasn't. It's kind of like a log cabin variation.
Okay.
And the blocks really are pretty large, so the strips are pretty large. It came together very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, it was an easy quilt to make.
I was curious about that.
Yeah. So, and I've been working on dolls. I've been working on drafting an original doll body, sort of the basis for my own original work. I've worked in other people's patterns for some period of time, and now I'm ready to sort of jump off and create my own. So she has no neck yet. I'm aware of that. That's the one flaw. So she needs to have a bit more of a neck.
How will you add her neck back on?
This is just a draft pattern.
Oh, it
so
is. Okay.
I will redraft her body again. There's a couple of adjustments I'm going to make. I'm going to make this dart a bit longer, and I'll just add a stump at the top for a neck.
Okay.
Her head is a separate piece, and her head is actually constructed in 4 pieces. There's 2 pieces for the back and 2 pieces for the front that you seam down the center and then sew those together in a seam around the top.
I like that head.
So it gives it that nice 3-dimensional quality. If you just have a front and a back, it tends to be flatter.
Yes.
So to get the form, using 4 pieces helps to accomplish that. And then the body, I really, on the torso, I used a lot of my background in sewing garments and, putting darts in to bring out the form, the 3-dimensional form.
Well, don't you make, when you're making garments, you can make whole outfits out of muslin.
Absolutely.
Before you even touch them. Oh, excuse me. Well, something's going on here.
Got goosed a little bit there?
Wow. Saw a little flame here.
Just a bit of excitement. Oh, it smells lovely too.
Doesn't it smell good?
Oh, I think we should unplug that rapidly.
Hang on.
Oh,
Don't hold that.
little fire emergency. Oh, there we go. Thank God, my brother-in-law is the fire marshal of Massachusetts.
Oh, man.
Okay, little excitement.
Mom, everything's fine.
Everything's fine. It's unplugged. It's cool. It's not touching anything. We are hot stuff, girlfriend. Woo!
Just erupting in flames.
Erupting in flames. Anyway.
Muslin. Using muslin to make a model, a
pattern. Yeah, and so really that's what I'm doing here is I'm drafting it in it's flesh-colored muslin, essentially. Yeah. And this is probably the 4th iteration of her. Seriously. I started out flat on paper and then started to work in the 3-dimensional.
You want to see something funny?
Yeah.
So this is what a new doll maker does for right?
Yes.
So this is literally
that's where we all start.
2 pieces.
Yeah.
And look at what I love to think that I can get to that point.
You will. Yeah.
Wow.
And then, you can make her, like I made her arms in 2 pieces, so if I decide that I want her hand in a different position, I can reposition it at the elbow.
Okay.
And the same thing with the leg. I'm still working on the foot. It's a little out of shape right now. But she has a real booty in the back because I wanted her to be somewhat anatomically correct. She's got a little lift in the front. So, yeah, it's a PG-rated show.
It is.
Yeah. So she's coming along. She still needs a little more work.
I love her. So how are you going to do, like your first one, do you have a form, and I know the answer to this, so I'm kind of leading you here.
You're like a lawyer. You never ask a question you don't know the answer.
Yeah, that's right.
Ask away. I'm intrigued.
Is there a fashion or a time in costuming that's driving your first costume? That's driving.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There is a designer, Erte,
Okay.
who
Erte.
did these wonderful Art Nouveau inspired designs in the 1920s, and he did a lot of the fashion designs for Harper's Bazaar magazine. And that's really been my inspiration to sort of kick me into, I need my own original body. Although, when I look at those girls that
Yes.
are in his fashion drawings, they're all flat-chested, long-limbed.
Well,
you know.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, but it just sparked me to want to do my original work
Cool.
again. So I'm going to get her who will be more of a multi-purpose, if you will, sort of my standard body.
Yep.
And then from there, I can craft, once I get all the proportions the way that I want them. If I decide I want to do an Erte doll, I'll make one that just has a flat front and longer legs and longer arms
Yep.
for that stylized version. But
Oh,
I want one that can be the jumping off point.
yes.
That's my own original design. Yeah.
She's going to be beautiful.
So that's her. And I'm also working on Pat, actually taught me how to do this beautiful woven bead bracelet. It's bead weaving. I'm going to pick it up carefully because the needle's still attached. So
Look at that.
that's the bead weaving, and it's using size tiny, itsy bitsy teeny weeny, which are size 15 beads.
Wow.
A little bit step up from itsy bitsy teeny weeny to just itsy teeny
Yes.
weeny. Size, let's see, 15, 11s, and then there's a size 4 larger bead in there too.
And these look like the nice beads that are all the same size and round and just
They're the Czech seed beads.
beautiful. Literally from
Czechoslovakia, I think. Yeah, and they're nice glass beads, and essentially you are stringing the beads on with a bead needle and the thin Nymo thread, and then weaving through the beads that are existing to anchor that set, and then you pick up another set and weave
beautiful.
through.
My mother can do this kind of stuff. She's always been able. Mom, you might like to do this.
Yeah, it's really
It's like weaving, but
a fairly simple pattern. Once you learn the pattern, there's only 3 or 4 moves to make, and it's quite stunning in person. These are like a silver pearl almost, and then dark blue connector beads, and it comes out with that lovely lattice work. Yeah, I like it.
I like it too, and I bet people are out there. Can you stay with me for a minute while we
Sure,
see
let's
who's
see
out there?
who's out there. Yeah. No commercials. Oh no.
The peanut gallery.
Peanut
calls us a
gallery.
commercial.
Come on over and wave. Who's out there tonight?
Oops, we don't
I
need
wonder
the
if
phone.
your sister's out there.
I do too.
I hope so.
It occurred to me I turned off my dinger,
Oh,
so we weren't hearing. You know, when I'm
Yes.
doing FiberCast,
yes.
I'll be talking away and I'll hear ding.
So you know
Maureen.
someone has
Yeah.
contacted you.
Maureen
Yeah.
from Pennsylvania always dings me.
Maureen, are you out there tonight?
Maureen. I was out in California earlier this week,
Uh-huh.
and one of my coworkers she's into sewing and all this stuff, and she had been watching. She probably, just as a favor to me, looked at a few, ahead of time. She said, it's so cute when you look down and you read and you say, oh, yeah, that's right, Linda.
I know. It's almost like you're talking right to, right?
But no one else in the world knows what the heck.
That's
So-
so cute. Right. They can't read your phone.
No, they can't. We need to fix that somehow.
Yes, you need to have a big screen that.
That's an idea.
You know, because a lot of times you try to show us things.
Doesn't work very well.
It doesn't work.
We need to improve that.
So,
How about the sound effects? Do you like those? Have you
Um,
been seeing those lately?
I
Yeah. The peanut
not
gallery
the
is
music,
sharp.
not the music.
Oh, we don't want to do music. Hang on. There are other graphic effects too you don't hear.
I see. But those are intentional then.
Yes. But it always takes me half an hour to find them.
Oh, see, who's here?
KB.
KB! Hi, KB.
She says, I'm here, I'm here.
Yay! What are you working on?
Oh, here's what she's working on.
Let's see. Now, I'm sorry, people. She'll hold the phone up, but you won't be able to see it. Oh, that is so sweet. Look at that quilt. Oh,
It's very subtle, isn't it?
beautiful. It is.
Pretty.
It's those lovely pastel, almost like 1930s style fabrics, and that's beautiful soft colorway. And what an interesting pattern, because it's like square and square.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a Missouri Star
Missouri Star, is it? I think it is just square and square, right? But it makes it, the way you have chosen the fabrics, KB, you get a real star out of it, where that doesn't often happen.
Oh, that's
The
right.
square and square oftentimes just comes out being, one square on top of the other. But the way you've positioned your fabrics, you're getting nice. See, look! Now you're going to be able to see it.
Oh, that's
Yes.
beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
That's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's so much better than.
Is it?
Look.
All right.
Just saying.
Thank
Just
you.
no.
Thank you.
No criticisms. Just
That
feedback.
is really pretty, though, isn't it?
That's really.
Did
pretty.
you notice the background is her pink? She painted her studio this light pink that's just perfect.
So sweet. And I love that rail. Is that like a chair rail that you have up there, and then you hook things on? That is brilliant.
I think she
Action.
did.
You're brilliant. Brilliant.
It's my sister.
That's your sister.
Come on, babies. Okay, it's
Beauty
checking
and
for mail.
brains.
Yes. Yes, she got both.
Yay.
Okay. Oh!
It's dinging.
Oh my goodness. It says Jenny Doan. Do you guys know who Jenny Doan is?
No.
She is the founder and quilt extraordinaire for Missouri Quilt Star Company.
Mm-hmm.
And someone just sent me a text, and the first thing it says is Jenny Doan, and I thought, Jenny's writing
Jenny.
to me.
Jenny's on.
Not
so much.
much.
She doesn't know what she's
A girl
missing
can
out on
dream.
tonight.
That's right.
Hey, you guys had fun. You went out to the Missouri Star.
We did. Highly recommend it. Good time.
Yeah.
Both Chris and Debbie,
Mm-hmm.
Chris Myers and
Right.
my friend Debbie,
Right.
are going back in October.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Nice.
This is
Nice.
where, out in Hamilton, Missouri, they have this big retreat center, and then they have about 11 stores that you can just walk outside and go to. There's a Civil War fabric store. There's a batik store. There's a children's novelty print store.
It is Quiltville.
Yes.
It is absolutely the big Quiltopia.
Oh, Linda Griffin says hi. She loves Sarah's bracelet.
Oh, hi, Linda.
She says, beading is the only other craft than quilting that I still enjoy. She says, I'm pumped up.
Yay, you should send pictures. We'd love to see pictures of what you're doing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's Linda in Quilt Haven.
And Linda, have you done kumihimo beading? Send us a note and let us know.
Would you recommend that?
Oh, absolutely. Kumihimo, Pat taught me how to do kumihimo, and it's so simple to do and fabulous results. Like, anybody could do it.
Really?
Yes.
Kumihimo.
Except my sister Jean, because she's stressed out. But, well, God bless her heart. I tried to teach her, and she was just too tired to learn it that night. But, yeah, it is very simple to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
I might have to try that. Okay, so Jenny Doan texted us a few minutes ago. Not.
Not.
Now some wise guy out there just wrote in Santa Claus.
Santa! Oh my gosh, I'm a big fan. I've been a big fan for a long time.
Santa.
That's right. That's right. I do believe in Santa. I do believe in Santa. I do believe in Santa.
Oh my goodness. Patty Bannister, and I'll tell you who Santa really is in a minute. But Patty says hi.
Don't spoil it for me.
Okay, all right, all right.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Santa's Santa, of course.
Oh, Patty down in Texas says, hi, Lynn, doing a happy dance tonight. She says, you guessed it, I finished the quilting part of my quilt.
Wow. So it's not done. It's done. Yes.
She says, I need to cut the binding, but I needed a short break. She says, enjoying your show, Patty in Texas.
Where in Texas?
Ooh, I'm sure she's told me. She goes to visit her grandchildren or children in Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
She has the blue bonnets. You know the blue?
Oh, do I know
Yeah.
the blue bonnets in the hill country? Absolutely. Well, I lived just outside of Austin. I lived in Georgetown for a while. Lived in Corpus Christi.
I think she might be near Corpus
Round
Christi.
Rock.
Patty,
Yeah.
remind me where you
Yeah,
are.
would love to know. Still have family there.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, that's
See?
beautiful. Yay.
Brenda
Nice.
sends in a picture. She says, here's a picture. Tonight I'm hand basting a table runner using clamps to hold the layers together on top of my table. So much better than crawling around on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
It is. That's
Wow,
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Look at that.
I love red and white quilts.
Yep.
There's just stunning.
Oh,
Beautiful work too. Look at those points, man. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous work.
love your choices of colors, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Brenda. Oh, let's do one more and then we'll get back to...
Okay, and then we have other guests that need to
Yes, we
come
do.
in and show their...
Stephanie, hi
Hi,
from
Stephanie.
Missouri. Hope everyone had a good week. I'm at a groom's dinner for my niece.
No fun.
Have a great FiberCast. Hope to see you next week, Stephanie.
Nice.
That reminds me of what our next Pat was telling us about some of the brides and grooms showers that she's been to,
Oh,
where you just trade envelopes of money.
yeah.
Have you been to those?
I haven't, and you know, I could get into that.
Yeah, I know.
If people want to give me envelopes of money, my address is. Just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, it was lovely.
thank you so much.
Bye,
for coming.
everybody.
Come back.
I will.
Good. How could I not be having fun? Pat, would you like to come say hi?
Sure. See if they can hear me.
Yes.
Which do you want to do first?
Whichever you would like
Beads
to
or
do.
dolls?
Whichever you feel like.
Oops, it's okay.
You can say hi to everyone.
Hi, everybody. I don't know anything about podcasts, but we're getting Lynn into doing paper clay dolls. And this is a sample of one of the teachers I had, Susie McMahon, who's from Tasmania. She was going to throw it away. And I said, I need it for a sample,
It's
lifetime
wonderful.
sample. So this is kind of my version of several other teachers and
yourself.
hers. Yeah, so it's just a variation. But then,
Before we get to that,
okay.
can I ask you a question about that? And you taught me this earlier today. How do you actually create that? Can you tell us a little bit more about the engineering or the mechanics of it?
Well, I start with about, depending on the size I'm going to do, is 10 to 12 inches of aluminum foil. You just tear it off and just kind of loosely crumple it down into a ball.
Okay.
And the tighter it gets, you'll see little things sticking out. And you can roll it on the surface of your table or the edge to create the front of the face. You want to make kind of a little depression for the eyes. And then definitely the ridge for the back of the head. You roll it this way on the table.
Okay.
And then there's another piece that you do for the breastplate. Same basic idea. Start with the aluminum foil, and then you gradually get it down to the size and shape that fits. And then when you get the two pieces to the size, you put one piece of foil over it to hold the two pieces together.
Okay.
Once you get your paper clay on, you're going to dig out some of the foil from here. And my latest thing is from another teacher. I'm going to drill up through the top of the head to unite it to the wires that will go through the body part.
Okay.
And then I will create a bigger hole up here and coil the wire in and then cover that with paper clay and finish it, sand it,
And
paint
be
it.
done.
Yeah.
So that is so neat. This one I noticed still has the tin foil.
Right, right.
So if you can see that, white against white, it may
I
not
know, it
show
really
as well,
doesn't.
but I just love the shadows that they make.
Well, and the paper clay is easy to work with. You can sand it down.
Yeah.
If you've got a lump somewhere, you can dig out something and put some more in. And the shadows kind of show you where the depressions are, where you have to maybe build it up a little bit more to make it more round.
I see.
But paper clay is nice because you can just wet the new surface with the old surface, just
Okay.
plain water, and they will marry together and will stay.
Okay.
Can blend
One
on.
can be dry, the other can be wet,
Yes, yes.
and it won't crack.
Nope,
You don't have to
doesn't
put
crack.
it through a kiln or any of that stuff.
It air dries, or if you have a little convection oven kind of thing, you can speed up the drying process doing that. And if you do get cracks, you just make a slurry and fill it in again and let
Okay.
it dry and sand it down. and paint it, gesso it and paint it, whatever way you want to. So,
Well, thank you. These are going to be big dolls.
good. Well, this one will probably be about this big. It's going to be kind of a goddess shape,
Oh, neat.
and she will be a hanging doll. She'll
Okay.
be a wall doll. So this one is not going to change. This is the teacher's thing, and it will just be in my box of
Yep.
body parts for reference.
I love it. A box of body parts.
Who doesn't
Doll
have a
makers.
box of body parts? Everyone.
Everybody has body parts, yes, extra. Well, sometimes.
I keep mine in a mason jar.
So then the other thing is, I know people do a lot of beading, and beading is another area that we go to for varying reasons, for garment construction and adding detail on it. And I went through chemotherapy a couple of years ago and ended up with chemo brain, and it killed my heart brain. Information would be up here, I just could not get it out, and it was extremely frustrating.
Oh, that's terribly frustrating. So I know there are people in our audience who might relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
When you can't get it out, could you understand it when it was coming in?
What I found, the way that I could deal with it was to go, even if I've already done it and been doing it for years, if I went and took a class, seeing it seemed to break down that wall, and I could function, I could do it. Now, it usually does stay with me. I found a few things that occasionally will go,
Yep.
and I need to redo it again.
Okay.
So this I had done 2 years ago, March, because that was my last chemo treatment.
Okay,
It was-
congratulations.
Thank you. And it was just, all of this was just so annoying. My husband would say, take out your paints and your canvas and work. It's like, but I can't. It's all this. It's just, I just can't do that. And what I found that with the bead embroidery, I wear glasses for close work, and then I put a visor on because I was using a lot of small beads.
Yes, I've seen those visors. My dad had one.
Right.
It's
And
magnifying, yep.
with that, it shuts out all of this stuff. So I can just focus on what is here
I see.
and not have all of this kind of interference stuff. So this is another one I start, and I don't pre-design anything. It's purely intuitive,
Okay.
and that's what I found worked for me. I know some people want to pre-plan where everything's going. So I just get to a point, and if it works, fine. I may put something else on, and I don't like that line of beads, so I'll take that one out.
Oh, I see.
And the one thing that when I took the class that she had said was, when you finish your round, knot it off. Knot off every single section. So that if you don't like that section, I can take just that out, and everything else isn't going to fall
That
apart.
makes a lot of sense.
It's a simple extra knot.
It's right.
Snip it and make another knot and continue. So what I'm looking at now is
See that.
possibly, and that's not really a color, but put that on point, and then have this here, and maybe put this at the end. So that's the only time I audition, and once I decide that, okay, it's
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
sequencing, then I will stitch on this one alone and start working to fill in around that. Because then maybe what I use for the colors around here don't really work with that. And
I
have to
see.
eliminate that and just maybe put some bugles in, do something different like that. So it gives you the freedom of not pre-planning, not having locked into those ideas. But
How are you beating down this big stone?
it's got a hole in it.
Oh, it does?
It does, yeah, it's a bead.
Okay. Oh, so you just
So
go
you
through.
just stitch through, yeah. And I usually stitch through 2 or 3 times through the main focus. You can see the knots on the back.
Yeah.
I tried gluing it on, the big stone on, and the glues, even the newer glues, didn't really hold,
Oh,
so I
okay.
made sure I could. And if it doesn't have holes in it, then I will peyote stitch around it and capture it like a bezel.
Okay.
So it will stay there, it won't go anywhere.
Wow.
So,
Such talent.
anyway.
Will that become a bracelet?
Yes, it's going on a brass cuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a cousin whose favorite colors are purple and orange.
Oh.
So those are my only limitations, like the color ways that I'm going.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Oh,
And I can never repeat anyone anyway. So,
no, they're all one of a kind.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So,
Oh, Pat.
anyway.
Well, thank you for joining us and
Well,
telling.
thank you.
Do you have anything you'd like to say to people who are watching FiberCast, who are out there who are like us. They like fiber, they like crafting, they like art.
Keep doing it. And if you get stuck with something like chemo brain, find a way to work through it. And what works for you might not work for anybody else. I've had to find out, I went through all the testing and I did not get the help from the medical professionals, psychologists and stuff, when they do all of that testing. I just found that I really need to take a class and see it done.
Yep.
And then it will be okay.
Okay.
And sometimes I get to the point where that still isn't working and I just go on and I can still knit.
Good.
And I'll take some knitting classes and same thing there.
Good.
So you just have to keep working through things.
Keep doing it.
Because art is very important in your life.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yes.
And what?
Amen, sister.
Thank you, Pat.
Well, thank you, Lynn. Thanks for having me.
And
Last but not least,
Sue is coming up next.
Flying on it.
She is flying on in. She is our singer,
on the wings of a dove.
amongst many other talents. Hello. And I really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you inviting me and feeding me.
Yes. Thanks for being here. Welcome to FiberCast. Lynn.
Hi, everybody.
Sue came down from New Hampshire.
I did.
Thank you for coming all this way. When did you get your start in doll making?
Originally, a long time ago, when my kids were little, I made a lot of dolls for them, and then I got waylaid, and I did.
Life took over.
And I did count and cross stitch, and a lot of, and I've in some quilting, and then I don't know. It was probably maybe 2004, 2006. So it hasn't been a long time that I've been doing this kind of doll making. And I had gone to my very first conference in Concord, New Hampshire, and met one of the members of the Textile Tarts, and that's how I got here. So I've been doing it, taken a lot of online classes and gone to a lot of conferences, and we've had great teachers come to our doll club meetings, and so I've learned a lot from.
It's a very
From them.
good group, isn't it?
It is, and we've got very talented doll makers in our group, and I've learned a lot from people who have been there for a long time. And when I first started, I was pretty intimidated because they brought in dolls that were like, oh my God, I could never do that. But they were so helpful in saying, you could say, boy, I don't know what to do, what should I do? It's kind of like what Pat said about the jewelry, if the color, does the color look right? How do you like this? They would say, well, how about if you do this? And it was like, oh, wow, I never thought about that. So it's been really helpful for me to explore what I've been doing. I still think I need to be perfect at everything, so please don't be like me because you lose a lot of your originality, I guess, and that originally I thought when I did patterns that they had to be just like it was on the pattern or the teachers, you get the same colors and everything, and I think I've kind of gotten over that, but which is good.
Oh, your dolls are beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I know when it's your doll.
Oh,
You can tell.
well, maybe that's a good thing,
That's
I guess. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You've won ribbons.
I have won ribbons, yeah. Yeah, a few, yeah.
Yeah.
But I brought one of the dolls. Pat had showed one of Colleen Athens' dolls, and this is one of my dolls that I made in one of Colleen's classes that I took. She obviously is not finished yet. She needs hair and she needs clothes. Her face is done. Her body is painted. Her limbs are painted. It's a what is it? A knit body, because you can stuff a little or a lot. It's got wires in it, so you can move the things. Not you can't move it so they're kicking if you want, but and her hair is downstairs. That maybe I'll put on the hair tomorrow. And she's going to be a redhead, and she's going to have a pink and red kind of striped outfit on. So she will be dazzling. But this is paper clay, as Pat said, and it's so forgiving. I think, and what the other Pat said too. It's you can pretty much do anything, and if you don't like it, if you don't like the ears, you take the ear off and you put another one on. So it's been great, and Colleen is a great teacher. So the two Pats and I have all taken classes from her. So we're a big fan, and I didn't bring my doll of Colleen's that I own, but I should have. Maybe next time.
Next time. Good.
So, and as Lynn said, I sing in a chorus. I live in Dover, New Hampshire, and my chorus is Voices from the Heart in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and we're celebrating our 20th year. So we're having a big concert in the first Saturday in June. And I got to make a bird for the concert. So we've got birds and horses. And this is some kind of plastic underneath all of these feathers. And our colors are purple and black. So there's black. I mean, you can also use it as a sunshade if you want to. I wouldn't use it in the rain because the feathers would get really wet. Oh, and I became a whiz with
She was bragging earlier tonight.
the super duper hot glue gun, now, and those little ones with the small pieces of glue. No, this glue sticks. This is big. Industrial, yes. And the bird, I don't know whether you can see, the wings do flap.
I love it.
But it's a little too tight, so I'm working on it probably tomorrow to fix it. And because a couple people mentioned kumahimo, if you don't want a bead, you can always use it to hold your string at the bottom, because you can wrap it around and you don't have to wrap it around your hand. So there are many other birds, and this has got vintage beads here and some fabric that who knows where it came. Leather gloves that we've gotten some from Doll Club friends that
That's one thing that you all have taught me, how you can repurpose. It's amazing how you can repurpose gloves or anything, slips or any old things that you might find.
Yeah, so and it's got a base of it's like batting. It's got batting underneath.
Now, tell me again, though, I don't understand how this is connected with singing.
I hope nobody from my chorus is out there. It's I don't really know how to explain this, but sometimes you have songs that people seem to think they need a little something more to the song. And this particular song is called Be Like a Bird.
Okay.
And so our director suggested that we have some birds. So we had a couple of bird making sessions. So we had someone showing us how to do the birds, and this is just plain old PVC pipe, and it's got washers in it to hold the pipe steady because it was going all circles. But
Sure.
so these are vintage lucite beads. So you can use them for a lot of different things, not just
beautiful.
beading. And so if any of you are interested.
Yes, when is this concert?
It's the first Saturday in June at the South Church, Unitarian Church in Portsmouth. And but it will be interesting. We also have horses.
Like puppets? Horse puppets?
Only they're like ponies that are this big, and then there's a couple of really big horses,
wow.
And then there's a boat that the horses go on. Anyways, yes, and there's African dancers and dancers that are repeating the dance from Slumdog Millionaire. If any of you have seen that, the Jai-Ho, you can see it lots. I think they actually did it on Dancing with the Stars the other night.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
yeah, so we have a lot.
You're right up there with Dancing with the Stars.
I know. So we have a lot of things going on, but I've been in the course since the very first night. So, it's kind of
You've traveled around the world with this course. This
Yes.
is 20 years.
Yep, we've
Right.
gone to Ireland, Northern Ireland, Croatia, Slovenia. Of course, went to Cuba and planning a trip to South Africa in 2018.
Oh, very fun.
So, and we've always raised money for humanitarian purposes. And in Ireland, it was for shelters, women's and children's shelters, and in Croatia, it was to help eradicate the mines from the war, and we actually did. And we even have a video that shows it before and afterwards, them harvesting potatoes after we had
You swept it for the mines that
yeah.
blew.
That we had raised enough money to totally clear a minefield that they could plant it again. So it's been pretty amazing. Yeah. So.
Excuse me.
But anyway, but I still do a lot of different things. I'm retired, so I get to stay home with my dog and my 2 cats, and I do talk to them, but then so do all my friends talk to their pets.
Exactly.
But anyways, this is great.
I'm so glad you're here. Can you stay for 1 minute and see if anyone's out there?
I certainly can.
Let's see who's out there.
God, I hope it's nobody from Portsmouth.
Oh, Jean is out there.
Oh,
Jean
hi,
Bergman.
Jean.
She is in our Quilt Guild
Oh, hi, Jean.
and does a lot around town. Is in the school committee and
Oh, wow.
let's see. Oh, Patty says Patty lives in the heart of Texas, Brownwood.
Brownwood.
It's 174 miles north of San Antonio, 100 miles east of Abilene.
Wow.
You all are having a really great time, she says. We are, Patty. You should come up and do this next time. Oh, Kathy Kettleson. Sorry I'm late. Hope you've had a good show. Happy Friday and all my love. We have, Kathy. Thanks you.
For joining us, Kathy.
Let's see. Here's a comment on YouTube. Oh, Colleen says, I finally made it to watch live. So nice now to get back to your guest. I cannot wait to hear what she has to say. Isn't that nice?
That's nice.
People call in from everywhere. Let's see. Bobby, enjoying FiberCast tonight. She says, I've just received my Dear Jane book, which was ordered because of you. Oh, that's great. Do you know about the Dear Jane quilt?
I do not.
Made in 1860-something. After the Civil War, right? 1863 maybe.
Yep.
By Jane Stickle in Vermont. And it has become a bit of a cult favorite. It has blocks that are this big with tiny little pieces, and there are thousands of pieces in this quilt. And people around the country, there's a book. Brenda Papadakis has written a book with all the patterns. There's also software that you can print out all the blocks. And now everyone around the world makes a Dear Jane quilt, and it's going to be. I don't think I have any here.
They're all 4-inch blocks and they're all different.
Thank
Every
you.
single block. I don't
They're
remember
all
how
different.
many.
How big is it?
I don't remember how many blocks. Do you remember how many?
I don't know, 250 maybe?
200 and something, and they're all 4-inch squares, but each block is very intricate in its own. It's in its own work of art, and then it's an amazing quilt.
I don't
It
think
is.
It's up at the Bennington Museum.
Yes, thank you.
Has it
Seen
been
it
there
in
for a long
person.
time?
Yeah, I've seen it in person. Yeah. And Brenda Papadakis, the one who wrote the book, she actually worked with the museum. They allowed her to come in, and she inspected each one and figured out how it was made and drew a pattern from it. Because nothing existed. I mean, this woman just created it, on her own. So that's how the book, the Dear, and she wrote to Jane Stickle that she was creating the pattern, saying, just like wrote letters to her journaling about looking at this quilt, because very little is known about the maker. So this whole Dear Jane, that's how the Dear Jane part of it came about.
Oh, wow. I never heard about that. I've been to the Bennington Museum, but it's been years. So next time I go to visit my family
They
in
don't
New York,
always have it
instead
on
of going
display.
up Pike,
Yeah.
I'll go through Vermont.
It's really a wonderful work of art. And when you think about all the modern conveniences that we have, and we still struggle to create things.
Oh,
And this
absolutely.
woman with very limited resources, you know,
And probably by herself.
by
Not with
herself,
the,
by
you know,
a kerosene
true,
lamp
no
with
community.
one
Yeah.
needle, you know, and
Yeah.
probably in
True.
what little spare time she had. I mean, the whole thing is fascinating to think about.
Is the fabric made from clothing, or was it actual
Yeah.
purchase fabric, or
I think it's a mix.
Feed
I think
sacks
it's a mix
I
of,
think it's a mix too. It's definitely Civil War type prints.
But she had a
There's some
lot
of
of
those
different
reds.
prints, and there's a lot of theories about where she got the fabrics. You know, did she get a hold of a book of samples of fabric from a traveling salesman or something?
Oh, yeah.
Because the blocks are so small and so intricate, and there's, you know, little tiny scraps of fabric. Did she, you know, get them from friends? Did she beg for fabric? I mean, we don't know. Very little is known.
oh wow, I'll have to look up more about it because I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So Bobby, that's great. Show us your progress. I'm so glad to hear about that. Joyce is out there. Joyce says, glad she could join us tonight. Joyce Long, you're having such fun tonight. She says, thanks to all the ladies for joining you. She says she's enjoying it.
Oh, good. Thanks.
Hope you all
We're
have-
enjoying it too.
Yes. Yes. Hope you have a fun weekend. I'm sure you will, Joyce. And let's see. Sue Norton. Sue is making some Dear Janes. Let's see if maybe, there we go.
Oh,
Those are all 4-inch.
wow, nice.
Sue is on fire. Sue is another scientist, and she has taken up to quilting in the last couple of years, right, Joyce? She says, hi, looks like you're having fun with your friends. Happy Friday. Here's what I've been working on. Of course, Dear Jane. She says she also does cross-stitch. Maybe I'll take some pictures of that stuff for next week. Have a nice weekend.
Oh, that's good. So you can just broaden your horizon.
Yes. Yeah.
Fiber in any form.
Fiber in any form.
And beading counts as fiber because you have to have some fiber holding
Right.
together.
Right,
Yes, it's a
right.
thread holder.
So that's my theory.
I was trying to think of how paper clay can be called fiber.
It is.
You're
Paper
different.
fiber.
It's made
I mean,
paper.
wood fiber, right? It's a fiber.
It's paper
Hair and clothing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Done. Oh, look at this. Linda Griffin. She says, what's under her needle? Now, Linda wrote in earlier. She said, tonight I'm attaching the binding to my Bally wedding star. She finally finished. This quilt was a long time in the making, she says. I know. I've had to watch your last 2 FiberCasts after the fact. It's so much more fun to see you and hear you from all the others live. Oh, that's good to know. Here's another picture of Bally Wedding Star. The actual couple who are receiving it eloped and got married in November 2014. Oh, well, better late than never. Definitely.
Oh my God, that's gorgeous.
Isn't that something? From Claremont,
Oh,
Claremont, California.
gorgeous. Is that a Judy Niemeyer? I
Ah,
think it is.
do you think it is?
Yeah. Ask her if that's Judy Niemeyer's
Is
pattern.
that Judy Niemeyer? Oh, yeah, it
Oh,
is.
so
Gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Norma. Hi, Norma. Norma is a regular and has been quilting.
Oh, hi, Norma.
She says, so glad I'm getting to watch tonight. I've taken today off from quilting, but did buy the backing for my grandson's quilt.
Well, that counts.
It
That's
does.
quilting.
Let's go
Shopping
check.
for quilting fabric counts as quilting.
I told you when I was talking to Jean and folks, and we were talking about stores and what we would name them, and how I wanted to call it the Quilt Gym.
Oh.
Because every day you could say, yeah, I went to the gym today.
How brilliant.
That might
Yes,
not have
great.
even been my idea. It might have been someone else's in the
That-
car.
But that's
it's
okay. You
funny.
borrowed it.
Oh, I did the gym today.
Let's see. So, you've got a couple of yards to start your granddaughter's quilt, and after you have those quilts done, she's going to start quilting on the mystery quilt she's done. Hope you and everyone has a great weekend.
We will.
There's never a lack of things to do, is there?
No.
Oh my goodness. Let's do 2 more, and then I promise I will get to everyone that we don't get to, and I'm going to finish up my doll. So 2 more here.
Okay.
More Dear Jane. See, they're all different.
They are. Oh, interesting.
Oh, Sharon. All Lynn's fault.
Oh, Lynn.
Is that how to get my attention? You got it. What in the world? It says, I emailed you last week blaming you for my interest in the Dear Jane quilt. Well, I got started. I'm doing it scrappy. Love what I've done so far. It's no way near perfect, but I still love it. Looking forward to watching you in the morning. Thank you for my new addiction, Sharon in Ireland.
Oh, in Ireland.
Isn't that
Oh,
neat? That's right. Last
One
week,
of
now I
my
remember.
favorite places.
Yes. I have yet to go to Ireland.
Oh, love your fabric choices.
Isn't that great?
That's
Gorgeous.
wonderful. What a great start.
Huge.
Woo.
That's right. And you've started with the square ones, which is perfect, Sharon. We talked about which ones to start with because some of them are very curvy.
Oh, yeah.
So those are good ones to start with. Love it. Okay, Rob. Oh, no. That's my work stuff.
We thought maybe
We'll
it
have
was
none of
Pat's
that.
husband.
We'll have none of
that.
So Mama So wants some submissions. Do you ever do them?
No, never heard of it.
Call for submissions. Here, let's read it. Let's give them a free airtime, baby. So Mama So, call for submissions. Blue Fig University Kids Learn to Sew Challenge. We're looking for 6th grade sewists and their child to participate in a fun sewing challenge called Blue Fig U's Learn to Sew Kits. Here's how it will work. If you have a child from age 6 to 12 who is a beginner to intermediate sewist, you can throw your name in that hat, and if you're selected, your child can choose which kit to make. Okay, and then you have to make the kit. You have to be photographed. Then the following week, the highlights come out. If you're interested, please email Kristen at Sew Mama So.
Very good.
That's
Yeah.
a way to get sew testers, yeah.
Totally. Here's what they actually
Oh,
sew that.
Nice.
Yeah, they've asked for testers before. It's kind of a cute
nice.
idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, I think that's it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, it's been great. And thank you all out there for watching Lynn and me and Sarah and Pat.
That's right.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you,
Well,
guys.
here's your Dear Jane box.
Oh,
You
okay.
want it?
Nope.
No.
No, I think we're good. In fact, I think we might be coming up on the end of the hour, aren't we?
I think we are.
Wow.
5 minutes.
I'm going to cut one thing out. I wanted to show you this fabric. It is really, really, really fine batiste fabric, and I'm going to cut out. There we go.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Go finish my wine.
Goodbye. Thank you. Okay. So I literally want to get at least one of these sewn so I can try and make one tomorrow. Okay, since this is a sewing show, let's see if I can at least sew a couple of seams. Feels good. I haven't sewn in a week. That feels good. Whoop. Don't get stuck on me. Tell you, I'm having machine troubles. Got stuck. Well, while I finish out the hour getting my sewing machine to work, I want to wish everyone a wonderful weekend. I hope you're getting to do something creative and fun for you. And I once again thank you for joining me. And keep on doing your fiber stuff, and I'll see you here next Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye.